Hey everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I am going to be reviewing season 9 episode 5 of Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. Alright, let's get into it. So we start off with first there's like a huge PSA about quarantining, staying home, staying safe, and that they'll be doing their confessionals from their house with not a lot of glitz and glam and good lighting or sound. They sound like me. So we start off with Rashida in her house, in her bathroom, getting ready for a date with Kirk, and Carter, their son, is coming in with stuff, helping her get ready. By the way, her confessional look looks so beautiful. I love the colored hair, the blue and the green. She can pull out just about any color. She's so beautiful. So they go on a date. They're at a hotel. Well, it looked like a hotel when they walked in. It was a bunch of roses everywhere, beautiful candles. I think there was like a bare rose or like a bucket of roses. I don't know, something like that. It was real cute. And they had like a candlelight dinner on the balcony. And it was just so beautiful. It was like a balcony or a foyer, I don't know, something outside, and it was like they was on top and it was out there. It was cute. And they had waffles to eat. And it was for their first date. They had their first date at the Waffle House, and Rashida was like, that's when she was low maintenance and all that stuff. It was cute. It was really nice to kind of tie that back in after so many years. You know, that first date, it means so much, especially how far they've gone from eating at Waffle House as a first date. You know what I mean? They also talk about like their kids being spoiled and how they have the Kirk's Bistro and how they're trying to get their kids, you know, involved and have a legacy, and they're spoiled and they don't understand how they're setting them up. And Rashida talks about going on a girls trip skiing that everybody's going to be going on. Then Shooter and Sierra meet up because it's Shooter's birthday, and they are there. It's nice, and Sierra's like, oh, I don't want to bring this up and put it down on your mood, but their daughter Paris has been skipping school. So they ask why she's skipping school, and she just says the people, there's drama and stuff like that. And they kind of tell her that it is what it is, you got to get over it. It's kind of like life, I guess. And Sierra talks to Shooter and lets him know that she kind of feels like their breakup and the change in dynamic has affected their kids, and that it may seem to their kids like they hate each other, so they need to come together and put on that united front that we're here, we're not together, but we still love each other. We love each other for y'all, we love each other for us, and keep it pushing. They don't have to be kissing and hugging and all that extra stuff. Just be good co-parents and be respectful of each other, basically. So their son, I believe that's their son. His name is Mason. I believe that's both of their son. If not, it's just Shooter's son, I believe. But I think it's both of theirs. I don't know for sure. My eyebrows. I have messed up eyebrows, like real bad. Anyway, he was making faces the whole time like, oh my God, like no. I don't know. It's just something about the faces. It made me feel like he knows more. And maybe he just looks young and he's a little bit older. I don't know. But Shooter does say that he feels that Sierra might be a little bit jealous because he did tell her about Kiyomi, and she's just reminiscing on the good times, but he has not forgot about the bad ones. I don't know if that means he hasn't forgot about his cheating and his F nigga ways or what, but we remember. I don't know about her, but we definitely remember what you did, making it sound like it was her. I don't know, she could have did her dirt too, but we know about you. And what was her name from Barney? The lady from Barney, Yeah, we remember. Then we see Jock, and he's going to the hair salon. His hair salon. Salon Echelon, I think that's the name of it. If I said that right. You can't blame me. I cannot speak English. It is my first and only language, but something about it. I don't know. So anyway, he goes to the salon, and Sharonda, as you know, is his business partner, is there. And she's like real snippy with him, asking him why he there. And he's like, it's my business. I'm coming to check up on things. And she's like, well, you haven't been here, blah, 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 I don't know what it is about her, but I don't like her. I don't know. She just gives off this vibe that I just can't mess with. Bro, you give off this like hating vibe, but then I'm like, how did they become business partners? Like, what's up? I don't know. You know, Jock messy, but he ultimately he's going there to meet up with somebody, Alexis Sky, to talk about her human trafficking story. She had posted it on Instagram. I don't know if you guys had seen it at the time, but it was when like human trafficking was huge and everybody was worried. She had posted about her story to kind of like bring awareness and to help in one way or another. He wants to have a panel so that people who can share their experiences and kind of bring awareness to human trafficking, especially in Atlanta, because it's a huge thing. And I think a part of the reason why it's huge is because I believe Atlanta's the biggest airport in the US. So she was saying she would have to think about actually coming and speaking, because although she does want to help, she does want her story to help others, she did receive backlash saying that she put her story out there for clout. And I think that's just wrong. Like, I don't think there's not much clout, you can get off of that. Like, yeah, you might not get heat because of your past, but she still did, messed up shit or stuff that we don't agree with and whatnot. But her past is still her past. That's a huge part, and that doesn't negate what she did. But you can sympathize and empathize with somebody on it. You know what I mean? It doesn't have to be for clout. So we have Rashida, Sierra, Bambi, and Mimi meet up. And they're like at a ski store, and Rashida's gonna tell them all about their ski trip. So the ski trip is like urban skiing in Tennessee, and nobody has skied except for Sierra, who says she busted her ass before, but she's willing to try again. The other girls, at least for sure Mimi, was a little bit apprehensive about it, like skiing, like we don't ski, you know what I mean? But she said that they were all said that they was down. Rashida says that Spice and Carly are coming on the trip. So they talk about kind of Sierra and Carly's last meeting and how Carly told Sierra that, karma was finna come for her, basically. And then they talk about Bambi and Scrappy, mom's family dinner that they had and everything that went on, the obituaries and all that Mama D was doing, and how Scrappy is now ignoring Mama D's calls and texts and all that. I don't know, it's a lot. Mama D be doing a lot. She be pushing it, and I think that obituary was definitely pushing it. But her point, I think, wasn't saying that she is dead or she's dying or anything like that. It's like, you're dead to me. This will never be mended type of situation. You know what I'm saying? But it's still wrong. Don't get me wrong at all. But I don't know. I feel like that lady did come in her house and disrespect her. And people are not just finna get over that. Not Mama D, at least. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't understand. For me personally, I don't understand both sides having to get along. Like, if she not denying her grandchild or being rude to her grandchild on either side, they don't need to all sit together and have a kumbaya, in my opinion. But I know people view family differently, and I know that I'm in the South, but I'm South Florida, so it's kind of different than the South. So my take is not like this big family, everybody got to come together. I'm not with all that. So that's why I see things differently. I think that he don't really need to ignore his mom. Just keep her separate. Don't cut her out of your life and your grandchildren's life and her grandchildren's life just because she can't get along with Bambi's mom, who disrespected her ultimately in the first place. I believe that's how it happened. I'm pretty sure. Let me know if I'm wrong though. So we're at Jock's panel, and Jock is on stage. So is Kendra, and then Akbar is in the audience. Alexis Sky comes, but she's a little bit late. So Kendra talks about how it's more than just a white van, or I think Jock was talking about how it's more than just a white van, on the side of the street, strangers. It can be family, friends, people that you know that will set you up, basically. People that are close to you. So one survivor, her name is Carla Miles, she talks about the STDs that nobody talks about. She talked about abortions, that I think people don't even realize that that's a part of it. You know what I'm saying? It's more than just having sex for money and that money being given to a pimp or whatever. These people, there's a chance you get pregnant every time you have sex. Condom, birth control, whatever, there's a chance, And she said that she had 15 abortions, and some of them were in the second trimester. She had to push the baby out and get back to work, and that is so sad. So sad. First of all, to have an abortion, but to have it so late, have to push the baby out, and then not even let your body rest or heal, get your ass back to work. That's hard. That's so sad. It hurts. It's hard to hear. And she said she, for 20 years, was sleeping with about 20 guys a day. And she got into that mess because of a mega pastor's daughter. You can't trust nobody. You do not know these people's souls, who they are for real. That outside is a front. It's a front. People show you what they want you to see, not who they really are. Whew. This part was heavy. It was heavy. Then we have Tony D. Rivera, who was a survivor but also a trafficker herself. And she said that her favorite place to go was churches. And millions of dollars can be made out of one woman. When you don't have the knowledge of that, you're kind of trusting when you can't see the bad that people are. You know what I'm saying? If you go to church with me, I go to church and we praise the Lord and we do this together and it's a together thing, I trust you. And I've seen friends that I've had from the past who were very trusting like that. Thank God nothing ever happened to her. But being so trusting, lacking the knowledge of what can happen to you, can make something happen to you because you're trusting these people who seem good and seem great and give you that look on the outside, but that's not who they really are. That's scary. It's scary because you want to keep kids innocent. You do. You don't want to have to expose them to all the possibilities of the bad things that can happen to them. You don't want to scare them. You don't want them to live a scared life, but you don't, at the same time, don't want to shelter them from it. Alexis Skydane comes in and she says that she was a runaway at 15, 16 years old and that she wasn't kidnapped, but she was held hostage. She was told that if you don't do these things, I'm going to kill you. They had took away her phone, threw it in a lake, and she said how she got out of it was that she, prayed and prayed and prayed and prayed. And one day, I guess some guy that was supposed to do stuff with her seen the look in her eyes, like the tears, the sadness, probably the emptiness, and said to her how old she was, asked her how old she was, and she said she was 16. And he dropped her off at a bus station and that was her way out. And she was lucky because from her story, she was either, when she first ran away, she was 15, 16, so she wasn't there for as long as 20 years or even 5, you know what I'm saying? She got out early, which is such a beautiful thing. And I hope that all of that comes to an end. Truthfully, I do. Because no one, no girl, boy, man, woman, person should be forced to do anything that they don't want to do. That people's lives shouldn't be taken away from them. So Mimi, Carly, and Rashida meet up to talk about Sierra's daughter. This was also in the blogs when they had first came out that Sierra's daughter Paris had basically got jumped by a daughter and her mom at school in the bathroom. So Carly says that she reached out to Sierra about the situation, of course, because beyond their issues, that's her child, and as a friend, as a former friend, whatever, you're gonna be there. You know what I mean? So she said that she still doesn't trust her though, and Rashida and Mimi was just saying that they hope that they can work things out, but they're not gonna force it one way or another. If it's organic and meant to be, it will be. Shooter and Sierra are at Shooter's house, and they are talking about the whole situation with Paris. And Paris kind of tells the story about how she called, or I think Sierra told the story. Yeah, Sierra told the story. Paris had called her on the phone saying, "Oh, this girl came with her mom. They trying to, fight me and this and that because they said I was being judgmental or whatever, something like that." And Sierra told her to put the phone off, like let her speak to the mom. So she put the phone on speaker and was like, you know, what's going on, this and that. And next thing she knows, like the phone drops and there's other girls in the background and, you know, like screaming and all that. And so come to find out that the lady lived in the building, or I think she knew that when it was on the phone. The lady lived in the same building as her. Like it could have been resolved, or like as adults they could have talked. You know what I'm saying? Like it was a child thing. If children finna fight, let them fight. You don't need to get involved. Like if your child is getting jumped and you out there and you see your child getting jumped, definitely get your ass in there and tag some bitches and get your baby out. But for you to come to a school, your daughter to get you into that school, and you fight a child with your daughter in the bathroom, what type of person? Like, that's disgusting. That is so disgusting. Let Soraya get older and somebody try some shit like that. Parents who say they fight kids and they do all that, but if you have a child who can fight, ain't no reason. First of all, you don't need to be pushing that foolishness. You know this little girl stay in your building. Let them fight outside in the parking lot. What you jumping and going to the school for? The school? You coming to the school, sneaking in as a grown adult to help your child fight another child? Not no grown woman, not no teacher, a child. Your daughter can't fight that bad that you had to jump a child? Are you serious? Reprimand Paris too, let her know that the girl is not the only one at fault, in the sense that y'all was beefing. Y'all did have a beef. Y'all was going back and forth. You was probably wrong for some things you said, or vice versa, whatever. And you need to know that stuff can go from 0 to 100 really quickly. And you can't be on edge that, oh, somebody mama gonna jump you or nothing like that all the time. But to know that arguing with somebody can get you killed. It could be a simple ass argument as, why the fuck did you cut me off? I feel that one because it happened to me today. Why'd you cut me off? And the guy come out and pull out a gun because his ass cut you off. What you mean? You know, people will do that stuff and they talk about how she lost her brother for no reason. And that stuff is real. Anything can happen. What seems small, what seemed that little beef, probably on Instagram or Twitter, y'all going back and forth, blah, 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 or whatever, in a group chat, whatever kids nowadays do. Not too far away, but whatever. You know, going back and forth, and now, you know, anything could have happened to you. You know what I'm saying? You gotta kind of let stuff go, and it's hard because you don't want to let stuff slide and let people bully you and whatnot. But everything doesn't have to build up, and you can kind of let stuff go because you never know what something small it can turn into. So Bambi and Sparky have a little like scene a little scene where they're talking about the ski trip and how she's like packing and whatnot with their little son. He's so cute. They talk about how she might be allergic to chicken or something like that. Can black people be allergic to chicken because she ate it and she was sick after? I don't know what kind of sick you get. Like, I just had crafty crab finally. I mean, I still have it Friday, but I treated myself. And like, it made me sneeze, and now I'm sniffling because I'm allergic to shrimp and shellfish and all that stuff. But what kind of sick you mean? Throwing up? Yeah. And then talking about Scrappy taking care of the baby, and excuse me, he jokes about how, you know, if he's crying uncontrollably, I'm just gonna give him some liquor and a bottle of milk and liquor, or milk and honey or something like that. And, you know, jokingly, and then he was like, if he's crying controllably and I can't take it no more, then we just gonna be crying together. And I felt that in my soul. Let me tell you, me and Sarai have cried together a lot. Then we go to like Kirk and Rashida's house, and they talking about Kirk Jr., who had got arrested. He was arrested and charged, and there was no bail or bond set. And it was basically for a little bit of weed and a gun charge. But what they gave him, it was intent to sell a sawed-off shotgun with a silencer. Apparently, it was just one bag of weed. We all know, don't nobody, you, like, Come on, I know here where I'm at, if it's 20 grams, 20 grams is not the right. I think less than an eighth. Yeah, I'm pretty sure less than an eighth. You don't get like taken to jail or arrested. You just get a ticket or something like that. But yeah, basically they got him locked up and trying to throw away the key, and he had a juvenile criminal background, so that could also be a reason why they kind of took him in. They see him as a criminal, you know, so get him off the street kind of mentality, even if it wasn't nothing serious. It all started because he got pulled over, I think, for not using a turn signal. Foolishness, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I know in Georgia they bad. My boyfriend was staying up there for a little bit, and his Florida driver's license was suspended. Somebody was speeding and they got into an accident. It was like a big thing. They got into an accident and his license was suspended, so they took him to jail, and basically had his people not gotten the money to bail him out, he would have been sitting in jail for 4 months before he even seen a judge over that. Like, I know down here they can take you to jail, but most of the time they don't. They kind of just let you go and see the judge, and if you see the nice judge who's a blonde lady, as long as you get your license straight before you go to the judge, you kind of throw the case out and you don't gotta pay nothing. So yeah, I know up there's bad, and it was Cobb County, I think they say it's the worst. I believe that's where he was. I don't think that's where they are. Something like that, something like that. But yeah, he was up in Georgia, and it was weird to me because I'm like, we don't do that down here. Oh, you driving with a suspended license? Everybody got a suspended. Just about everybody in South Florida has had a suspended license. Let me tell you why. Insurance is fucking expensive. There's a lot of us young folks out here who can't afford to pay damn near $300 for a car note and $600 for insurance just because I'm young. I'm paying rent on a fucking car, and I still gotta pay rent because I can't live in my goddamn car. It's too damn hot. It's ridiculous. Driving with a suspended license, at least in South Florida, is a normal ass thing. My license is good now. So all the girls meet up by the bus that they're gonna take to drive to Tennessee. It's about 5 hours away, and Carly is there. She's still mad with Sierra, but she is hoping that they can mend things on the trip. Spice, they joke about her being overdressed, like, but that would have been me. That would have been me, and I would have had a blanket to cover it all up. I don't want to be cold. I don't know what to expect. I ain't never been to Tennessee. I ain't never been to snow. I ain't never been skiing. It's cold. All I know is snow is cold. And Rashida pulls up to let them know that she's not going to be able to go on the trip because of everything that's going on with Kirk and Kirk Jr. I don't know why she had to drive over there, though. Like, she could have called or texted them, let them know, you know. But I guess she maybe had to feel an obligation or something. She had to be on camera. Who knows? So on the bus, Spice brings food, and to make sure that they'll never be hungry in the event that something happens. And I think she pulls out a yam. Is what because I was reading the subtitles, and the subtitles said spam. But I said, I don't think that's spam. I think that's a yam. Because I think my grandma uses that in her soup that she makes, and she calls it yams. It's like white on the inside. I'm not sure. Either way, Bambi says, "Oh, you got Caribbean taste." I don't have Caribbean taste. It was funny. So they talk about the whole Paris situation, and Carly says that if it was basically her daughter, she wouldn't be on the trip. I don't know how, you know, a little judgmental. That her daughter kind of just wants to be alone and wants her space right now. She's 14 years old. Something, you know, traumatic happens, and she's staying with her dad. So it's not like Sierra would be there anyway. Sierra would be at her house. So it's kind of like the same thing. And I believe Rashida said they only going for like a couple of days, 2 or 3 days. So it's not like it's that long. And then Bambi talks about how she's feeling sick, and Sierra asks if she wants some peanuts, and she gave her some peanuts, and she said that made her feel better. And then she was like, oh, you know, that only happened to me when I was pregnant. So they say that she should go and take a pregnancy test. And then she was like, if I take a pregnancy test, everybody else got to take a pregnancy test. I think in the previews they do show everybody taking a pregnancy test. So she's gonna do that. And then Shekinah texted someone that she was driving up to Tennessee to go to the ski trip, and Spice was like, no. Her and Shekinah apparently have beef. Spice was like, will say one thing to Spice in her face, but then go behind her back and say another, basically like calling her fake and whatnot. So she don't rock with her, and from the previews we gonna see how that play out. So the last scene, we have Scrap and Cheyenne at Scrap's apartment, and they are like packaging everything up because he's moving into a bigger place for his nephews and everybody. So Cheyenne, they talk about the barbershop and how she found a few spots for them, and then they talk about how KK is coming over because her and Cheyenne have some stuff to speak about. Basically, Cheyenne didn't pay her phone bill on KK's plan, and Cheyenne with the long hair and the bangs, she looked completely different. Beautiful both ways, don't get me wrong, but completely different, and her boobies was sitting all out. It's like, ooh, girl, look at your titties. And so Karen King says that it's more than just the phone bill, that she was disrespected, and that Cheyenne didn't pay the bill out of spite after Karen King like called her out on it. Basically, Cheyenne had said fuck you and all this stuff and blah blah blah, so she felt disrespected and Cheyenne was denying it. So Scrap said that both of y'all just need to apologize, and Cheyenne was like she will apologize, but KK was like, no, I'm not apologizing because you're not even owning up to what you did. You saying it didn't happen, you didn't do it. So yeah, and then KK drops a damn bomb. She says, oh, have you told Scrap about Shooter? What? You could, because Cheyenne don't want to tell. Cheyenne and Shooter don't want to tell Scrap. Anyway, that's it for Love and Hip Hop Atlanta Season 9, Episode 5. I will be back with either Teen Mom OG or 90 Day Fiance Before the Vows. My TV is messing up a little bit, so I'm working on getting all that fixed, and I will be back with another one. Don't forget, in the meantime, to like, comment, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Follow me on Instagram, and please share with anyone likes reviews and recaps of TV shows. I look forward to seeing you guys next time. Bye.